Alright, so this is an unboxing video for this fancy brown paper rack box that I got in the mail today. One of my FPV buddies was giving me a bunch of crap saying I should do an unboxing video. So, this is what we're trying to do here. The mystery's about to be revealed. What have we got here? Here we are. So, this is actually a replacement for an older helicopter I had. This is Century Hawk Pro 30 size helicopter, nitro powered. Not done a whole lot anymore, but I still got the motors and stuff around here, so look at that. I've still got some 30 size engines and stuff here, and I had a Raptor 30 which I've been chasing problems with the clutch in for some time, so I decided instead of just replacing the clutch and stuff, I'll just go see if I can get another helicopter. And I found this one for a pretty good price. So let's have a look inside. I actually bought this from a guy in Alberta. This company's called Heli Farm. Dennis Peterson, a really nice guy. Had a great conversation with him and he did me a good deal on this one. So certainly recommend anyone looking him up if you're looking for any Align or Century stuff. So this helicopter, he's had it for a year or so, and he's told me that he's actually parted some of the stuff out of it, but he replaced it all. So as people needed a part, he'd take a part out and then he'd replace it. There's some decals, so stick those on later. There's canopy, some bits and pieces. This is not a kit. This is an ARF. So there's a nice canopy. So because this is an ARF, I'm going to have to take some time to kind of go through and check out how bad the job the factory did on Loctite and all that good stuff. But that's part of the fun of it. So there's the canopy. Nice big canopy. About the same size as a Raptor 30, a little bit different shape. Made out of that Javix bottle material. Here it looks like we've got some side frames, an engine mount. So it's actually aluminum sides and aluminum engine mount. Look at that. And the radio tray, switch plate, plastic. This aluminum on the sides, plastic on top of the servos. Fuel tank, 500 cc's. A little bit different configuration than the Raptor. I think this one sticks out the side of the frames this way. So this goes to the front of the helicopter that way. Got a start shaft. The difference in the start shafts for the Century and the Raptor is the Raptor has a start shaft that goes all the way through to the clutch bell, and the shaft engages the clutch in a one-way bearing, so as soon as the engine starts it can keep going. So the start shaft for the Raptor is actually just a solid one. This one is got a one-way bearing in it, because the way that this starts is it has a shaft that pushes down and engages the top of the clutch, and then once the engine fires, the shaft can continue to spin until you pull it out, and after that the shaft is actually not connected to the engine anymore. So that's the start shaft. Oops. looks like it got a slightly smaller fuel tank there as well, so that was probably one of the spares that he replaced at some point along the way. It's like the tail fin set. Some plastic tail blades there. Now I've actually carted out the tail blades from my old Raptor, so I've got a bunch of carbon fiber blades and stuff that I'll be using instead. And this looks like a little extras bag. The later model of this kit actually came with some harder dampers for 3D flying and some backing plates for the servo mounts and a remote glow adapter, so that's kind of helpful. And I think there's also a lightened set of paddles in there. I don't know if you can see them on the camera there or not. There's a lightened set of paddles in here with some lightning holes in them. And that's just supposed to give it a quicker cyclic response if you want to use the lighter paddles. So I got some promotional materials here from the Heli Farm. I don't know if you can see that really well here or not. Anyway, thehelifarm.com. That's his website. So here, this is basically the main mechanical parts. Bit of a different design from the Raptor. This has got a counter gear and it spins. So I don't know if you can see that there. This counter gear is run by the engine, and this would be upside down, so it's actually run this way. And then down inside of there, it's kind of hard to see, but down inside of there, the drive pinion is actually in the inside of the bell there. And then you've got your cyclic controls, manual CCPM system. There's the start shaft, so that pushes down, engages the engines, and then pops back up. So the starting wand actually goes here, push down, zzz, start it up, and then you release. I was wondering about this collective arm arrangement because it's a bit different from the Raptor, but it's got this kind of lever here. And I was wondering how much leverage it had, but it seems fine. It seems like it would have a lot of Alright, somewhere along the way there my video got shut off, so I think I was kind of looking at this thing. And I think I was talking about this collective lever here, which is what operates the pitch on the head. And so I was wondering, before I got the thing, I was wondering how well it was going to work, but it seems to be pretty robust, so hopefully it should be good. And I think, yeah, these are actually the same scale mechanics that you find in the kits where you get the fuselage kit and those sets. So this is basically just a few bucks more than the scale mechanics. I guess they throw a canopy in there and some skids and call it a helicopter kit. So what else do we have here? Some odds and ends there I think I went through. This bag has in it the cooling fan, shroud, and then the cooling fan that goes on the engine. And you can see right there the slots that the start shaft actually engage into to start the engine. So that's what this thing pushes down into, those slots right there. Pushes down, spins it, and then pops back up. This is the clutch and the bell. So the difference in this on the Raptor, this is this way, and the engine spins the clutch and the shroud hangs from the top of the frames. This one, it sits on top of the engine and the shaft comes up through, it spins it inside, and then the counter gear runs off the side. So that actually will sit something like this in the helicopter and spin that counter gear, which then translates through to the to the drive system. So that's that. Some other plumbing stuff in there for the fuel tank. Some skids. And this would be the head unit. So there's the stock paddles with no lightning holes in them. So these would be pretty much the same thing you'd find in a Raptor. And this is just the top of top of the head grips, and that'll screw down on top of the top of this guy, kind of like that, and all goes together. And get some mixing levers and stuff, pretty standard fare, some little bearings and things in there. And it looks like another set of rubber dampers there. Yep. So anyway, that's it. Pretty much basic kit. Oh, we got a little bit of some silicone oil there, it looks like. I don't know how much is actually in there, but I like to use the tri-flow grease. I'm not sure what this is for actually. It may be grease for the dampers and the spindle, or it could be something else. So figure that out when they put it together. And last but not least, there is the tail drive unit. So another difference in this one and the Raptor. The Raptor is a belt drive, which apparently, you know, it needs tension, the right tension and stuff on it. It can be a pain sometimes. This one is a wire drive, and there's actually an upgrade kit I think you can get that has a torque tube drive. So these are just boom supports and tail push rods. Actually, no, that looks like a fly bar in there. Fly bar and some tail supports. This looks like probably brass drive wires. No, it must just be some tubing for some unknown purpose at this point. Figure that out later. And there's the tail boom, and actually, yeah, so the drive shaft is actually in there already. You can see the lined up there. So there's that. There's the grips. And that's pretty much it. So I guess the next step is to go through it all and get the assembly instructions out, check everything over, re-lock tight all the important bits, and get it assembled, and then go to the field and smash it up. So that's it. Anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching.